just mentioned how tough your schedule was. Could you talk a little bit more about what a typical schedule would have been like for you as a Von Erich?
Like I remember many times on a Saturday and Sunday doing for instance, an afternoon show in San Antonio, and then going to Dallas to do the night show. And I literally would show up many times, like straight from the car, and I was already in my gear, I didn't change, straight from my car to the main event, and that's back in the days when you had to take a map and try to figure out how to get to the the venue. And I got to tell you that it wasn't, a lot of times that this venue was hard to find, and I can't tell you how many times that I had to unroll that map and try to figure it out. And that was in itself was just a mission, but that would be my Saturday and Sunday. And then, I would maybe have to work on a Monday or Tuesday because Kevin or Carrie couldn't make it to the town, so I'd have to do the very first match and the very last in the same town. Everybody else is going home after their match. Nobody hung around. If you're on the first match, and some of those drives were 300 miles each way.
Yeah.
It was back in the day. I flew some, but still, it's not all the time. And some of those trips were 300 miles. So the quicker you can get out of the venue that you're in and get on the road, the better off you are, because you at least, have some sleep.
Flying in Texas on an airplane, probably not first class. What would that experience be like with the fans?
We flew Southwest a lot.
Okay.
And it was tough.
Yeah, that sounds like a horrible thing.
Because then they just, it was weird because I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you flew, well, maybe you didn't, but they used to have seats that were like facing opposite each other, and the back,
no.
and the back, and then the exit rows, so I actually like that because you had a lot more room too, if you're facing like that. But problem is if you're facing away from, the like you're facing the back of the plane, very difficult, because, and you always wanted to sit there because there was more room, but it's very difficult because it's not a natural thing to be turned around looking, and they no longer, I heard, have seating like that. But just getting on the airplane and trying to get everybody on there, and always it was, you had Bobby Fulton, Tommy Rogers, and the Freebirds, and obviously when the Freebirds are on the plane, they're disrupting everything, and to have at that time
because they're drunk, or
100% everybody was drunk on the plane. Oh, not everybody, but most everybody, was drunk on the airplane, and it was tough because they were noisy and disrupting the plane. I remember the flight attendants couldn't even, you didn't have men at that time, you didn't really see men as the flight on the women, and pretty good looking, because back then they had to have certain weight, and they don't look like they do now.
Right.
You can be big and be so they would harass the flight attendants, and I know the flight attendants hated having us on the plane.
I can imagine.
Not to mention the kids and everybody wanting to get out of their seat and go meet you.
Yeah.
Not everybody's nice. A lot of the hills were like just, really nasty to the people. Like.
Yeah. Did you ever get attacked by any fans? I know you were mostly a baby face.
Never had, but I've seen people get stabbed. A matter of fact, the guy that, the Giant Warrior, the guy that I'm staying with, he's more well known, obviously, outside the United States.
Yeah.
But I saw him get stabbed and took 55 stitches in South Africa.